The more I know of the world, the more I am convinced that I shall never see a man whom I can truly love. Marianne, from Sense and Sensibility, by Jane Austen. Hi guys, I'm Daniela Castro, and today's book talk it's going to be Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Let's begin the review. First of all, the story setting. Well, this story takes place in England, especially in Norland Park, but then develops in Barton Cottage. At the time that this happens, it's around 19th century, and the genre of this novel is romance and humor. So if you're a fan that loves this kind of books, you should read it. And even though another thing that hints out about this book is that even though it's a classical one, it's not as hard as difficult to read as other classics book. Now let's see the characters. First of all is Eleanor Dashwood, one of the three Dashwood sisters. She is the oldest, and she is 19 years old, and she represents the sense because she has more common sense that her sister Marianne Dashwood. She is the second daughter of the Dashwood. She is 17 years old, and she is a drama woman who falls in love easily and feels the love deeply. Then we have John Dashwood. He is the first son of Mr. Henry Dashwood, the fathers of Eleanor and Marianne. And then we have Lucy Dashwood. She is the wife from John, but she's a little bit witch. We have Miss Dashwood. She is the mother of Marianne and Eleanor. Another characters that we had in the story are Edward Ferrars, Colonel Brandon, and John Willoughby. Edward Ferrars is the sister of John's wife. He is going to fall in love with Eleanor in the development of the story, but some events are going to make them to take a little bit of distance. Then we have the Colonel Brandon. This man is interested in Marianne, but he is 35 years old, and it's a little bit older to Marianne. And then we have John Willoughby. This another man is in love with Marianne. So in the development of the story, those two men are going to develop maybe a rivalry with a cause of Marianne's. Let's see what's going next. So I'm gonna summarize it in a brief way because I don't want to ruin your lecture. So the story begins with Henry Dashwood in his deathbed begs to his son John to take care of his wife and his daughter, and he agreed. But unfortunately, when Henry Dashwood dies, the things turn out because for some things that said his wife he didn't want to give anything of the money to his sisters, and this happens because unfortunately Henry didn't have enough money to give his daughters because he couldn't inherit the home for them because it was one of the uncle's home who inherited to his son, in this case John. So then after several months that they spent in the Dashwood's home in Norland, due to some bad attitudes of John's Dashwood, they decide to move out. They decide to move out to Barton Cottage and start a new life, maybe with some new experiences that the story develops. Before all this happens, Eleanor meets the John's wife brother that is called Edward Ferrars. She met them and they start talking in a very formal way, right? But they start feeling something, but unfortunately, but for some bad actions of Edward's sister, they have to separate when Eleanor and her family move out to Barton Cottage. She couldn't say goodbye to Edwards. During their residence in Barton Cottage, Marianne meets to the colonel, an older man with 35 years old who fall in love with Marianne. But unfortunately, at first instance, he didn't cause interest in her because he was older, and as we know, Marianne was only 17 years old. Then, as the story progresses, Eleanor misses Edward, but she didn't show it because the sense that rules her life didn't allow her to show it. According to the development of the story, maybe there is a part when Marianne meets Mr. Willoughby, a handsome man that in the development of the story, the people say that he will make some bad things that maybe don't like it. So as we can see, this book will talk about these 5 characters, especially about Eleanor and Marianne, who has very different ways of being. And we are going to see that each one of them represents the sense and sensibility. So I really recommend you this book if you're a person that really like the romance and you want to experience the social expectations that people used to have in the Gregorian age. So the best highlight that this book has is the different ways of being of these 2 young ladies. For one side, we got Eleanor's. She is a very reserved person, and she tends to keep her feelings and don't show it just because she is ruled by some thoughts about being formal and polite. And in the other hand, we had Marianne, a young lady with 17 years old, who tends to love so deeply because she is in the young age, and she in that's why she is maybe too naive and a little bit full with love, and tend to follow maybe these idealizations of the love. So I'm not going to tell you any more about this book, because if you wanna know with what man maybe and Marianne and with Eleanor ends with Edward, you are going to read it. So let me in the comments, what do you think about it? Bye, and see you in the next book talk with Daniela. Bye.